How's it going, you guys? AZPlyo21 back again with another episode of our UFC save in WMMA 5. And here today, we've got UFC Fight Night DERN versus Shevchenko. Originally, I believe it was supposed to be a featherweight, interim featherweight championship as the main event. But I believe Sinead Kavanagh got injured. In steps MACKENZIE DERN and Valentina Shevchenko. Shevchenko has not had a very good time recently. She's lost 4 out of her last 6 fights, but she is coming off a win over Joanna Jędrzejczyk. MACKENZIE DERN, on the other hand, coming off a win over Macy Barber. DERN has not fought for the title in the save, which I feel like is a crime. At some point, she's going to have to. But with that said, we are making our way towards UFC 299, Song versus Cruz. No title fights, but a pretty big fight for those Southeast Asians to see. That should be a good one. You can see the prelims there if you would like. We are making our way towards UFC 300, which has not been scheduled yet because I want as many title fights on that pay-per-view as possible. Appreciate you guys, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. If you haven't followed me on Twitch or Twitter yet, links are down in the description below. Appreciate you guys as always. Let's get into it. DERN versus Shevchenko. Taking place in Oklahoma. Let's get started with our prelims, starting out with Peter Barrett as he takes on Martin Wynn, I believe in the 155 division. And yikes, Martin Wynn is a huge favorite, making his UFC debut after a little stint in WEC. And it is, wow, a huge upset as Peter Barrett beats Martin Wynn via TKO in round 2 with a fantastic fight. Everyone's been having fantastic fights lately, and I love it. They want that 100K. Peter Barrett said it was a fantastic war. It certainly was to start out the show. This guy's kind of an asshole, but Violent Bob Ross, Luis Pena taking on Junior De La Rosa in the 145 division. De La Rosa 1-2 in his UFC career. Make it 2-2 as he chokes out the not very nice man in Luis Pena very quickly. Alex Enlund taking on Magomed Unisilao in the featherweight division. Unisilao still just that one loss in his career, and it came at the hands of Luis Gomez of all people. And it's Alex Enlund giving Unisilao the second loss of his career. That one guy who misclicked on his betting app is very happy. Oh yeah, for sure. Alex Enlund getting the 21st victory of his career. He's now 2-2 in his UFC career. Congrats to him after being the underdog in this one. Sagid Izagakmaev taking on Alex Morono. Morono, small underdog in this one, and it is Sagid who gets the win via TKO. Ozzy Dagulugbov taking on Matt Steamroller Frivola. Very even fight between these two guys at 155, and it's a knockout win for the Steamroller, who is 6-4-1 now in his UFC career. Julio Cesar Neves taking on Gavin Tucker in a fight between a couple really big, I want to say prospects, but Tucker's 37 years old. No fight team, and Julio Cesar Neves gets it done. Knockout in round number 3. He's now 6-2 in his UFC career, including a win over Tyler Diamond. Very good prospect. Moving on, Davison Figueiredo taking on JPBs on the prelims of all places. JPBs, as we mentioned earlier, very marketable wife in Cheyenne Bees. 6-1 in his UFC career. Very surprised that he is not. Oh, that's right, Figueiredo is ranked at flyweight and bantamweight, but he's in the bantamweight division currently. Interesting. And he's a big underdog to Bees. He's 2 inches shorter. And Davison Figueiredo is in a draw. They draw. That is the first draw I've seen in a while, but a draw between Figueiredo and Bees. Casey Kenny taking on Amon Zahabi in the bantamweight division. A couple pretty good fighters as Zahabi knocks out Casey Kenny in round number 2. Moving along. Ryan Spann taking on Julius Anglicus in the light heavyweight division. In real life, Spann, pretty good fighter. Not sure where he's going from here, and he loses to Julius Anglicus, who is now 2-2 in his UFC career. And he wants to fight Christian Edwards next. Pannie Kianzad taking on Miranda Maverick. In our last prelim fight, Kianzad 19-9. And Kianzad has no fight team. Miranda Maverick is 13-3, 6-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Molly McCann. And Maverick gets the easy submission in round number 1 over Pannie Kianzad. Moving along to the main card, Thiago Moises taking on Jason High in what is apparently Jason High's final MMA fight. Perfect in his UFC, and I don't think for real, but since this save has started, he's perfect in his UFC career. Coming off a win over Devontae Smith, Thiago Moises. On the other hand, coming off a loss to Gregor Gillespie. And Moises gets the submission win over Jason High. The 42-year-old High is going to retire, and he announces that right here tonight. Stefan Struve taking on Sergey Spivak. In the heavyweight division, a full 9 inches taller than Spivak is Stefan Struve. He is the betting underdog, though, and it is Spivak getting the TKO win in round number 1. Everyone's a big fan of Spivak right now after he knocked out Greg Hardy, so good for him. Douglas Lima taking on Takashi Sato. We saw Takashi Sato get absolutely manhandled by Gunnar Nelson last time out. Not a very good performance on his end, just got absolutely dominated. Douglas Lima making his UFC debut here today, and against a pretty game opponent in Sato, who's coming off a loss to Nurmagomedov, but kind of an introduction for Lima after being the Bellator champion for a while and then losing to Kreshkov and then getting a little bit of a win back. Anyways, so Takashi Sato just knocked out the former longtime Bellator champion in the first round. So good for him. Moving right along, we've got a pretty big fight in the strawweight division. Harika Tiburcio taking on Stamp Fairtex. Tiburcio coming off a win. Stamp Fairtex coming off losing to Rose Namajunas for the title. And Tiburcio is the favorite, and with good reason. She submits Stamp Fairtex. Interesting. Just beat number 4. Moving on, I believe this is the co-main event of the evening. Chris Cyborg coming off a win to Leah McCourt. 2-1. Reina Miura in the UFC coming off a loss to Janae Harding. Cyborg is a big favorite in this one, and with good reason. Knocks out, or TKOs, Reina Miura in round number 3. A good fight. Cyborg still going at it, but she is 40. Cyborg did not retire. To the main event we go. Mackenzie Dern taking on Valentina Shevchenko. In our main event, what didn't you get Cyborg back? I believe it was a while ago. I don't remember when exactly. But she was coming off a couple losses in Bellator. So I couldn't give her a title fight right away. So she's got to kind of just fight her way back up. Valentina not having a good time, as I mentioned. Coming off a win over Joanna. But before that, lost to Joanne Calderwood, beat Paige Van Zandt, lost to Loretta, lost to Montana twice. Then you got Mackenzie Dern, who's from Phoenix, Arizona apparently, but I believe she lives in Brazil and talks like she's a Brazilian. Macy Barber coming off a win over her, lost to Jillian Robertson before that. Dern is a big favorite. Let's go ahead and get the main event started. Immediate takedown from Mackenzie Dern. Going for a submission. Shevchenko keeps her guard. Leg lock. Nope. Dern just keeps on going for those submissions. Side control. Takes her back. Rear naked choke. Can't get it. And that's in round 1. Dern easily won that round. Alright, let's see if Dern tries to take her down again. Shevchenko hits a straight left. Dern takes her down. Can't get it. Up against the cage. Dern gets the leg trip. Right, Dern looking to get a better position. Gets the mount. Armbar. Done. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by armbar submission, Mackenzie Dern. Shevchenko has not been doing well. But a good win for MACKENZIE DERN. That was our main event. 5,000 in attendance in Oklahoma. Million in Gates. You love to see it. I believe that was a super lightweight fight. That's cool. So let's see. What was our fight of the night? Couple fantastic fights. Go ahead and give it to DERN and Shevchenko. But we will give Barrett that performance bonus. No, we'll give it to both of them for the fantastic fights. Yeah, we'll give it to Steamroller. Takashi Sato. Thiago Moises. And Miranda Maverick. Still take a pretty good profit on this card. Valentina may want to consider retiring and moving to a different division. I mean, I don't know if she can make it down to strawweight. That'd be crazy. MACKENZIE DERN, highest paid fighter, along with Stamped Fairtex, who lost. And then Cyborg after her. And Valentina. Yeah, I'll take a look at Valentina and see what we can do with her. But that's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate you guys. Our next card is going to be UFC 299, Song versus Cruz. It is a pay-per-view, so stay tuned to that one. That should be a good one. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate you as always. Follow the links down in the description so you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter. If you're watching on Twitch right now, stay tuned. That pay-per-view is coming momentarily. I'll see you guys later.